Hello, and welcome to Storytime with Eamon D Standing. This week, if you didn't know, or if I've completely got the dates wrong, is supposed to be National Storytelling Week. And originally I was going to do a story each day, but that didn't quite pan out because it's 3 days into this week. Also, I couldn't find a bunch of the materials that I wanted to read, but we'll do a few stories this week. I'd like to start off with a nice bedtime story. The story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, told a little bit more horrendously than you're probably told in your childhood, and definitely a lot more horrendous than I was told in my childhood. Well, get your quote ready, and let's begin. We all know how the story begins. There's some bears, porridge, let's go for a walk to cool down. I mean, yeah, you leave your house to cool down, some porridge. But let's ignore that and let's just get to Goldilocks. She's not really our typical Goldilocks in this fashion. 15 to 17 years old, bleached blonde hair, originally a brunette. Let's say she's wearing a grey hoodie with pink decals, pink stripes. And she's the kind of person that, you know, tries to act very gangster, was really from quite a middle-class, upper-class family, and don't know what she's doing, but she's walking down the road, probably been getting high somewhere, and she comes across this house, and she somehow smells, through double glazing, some nice porridge, and she's like, I'm on the munchies, I'm going to break into a house. Originally, I think she climbed through a window, but let's say these bears they're pretty trusting, so they just leave the door unlocked. So yeah, she walks into the kitchen and sees 3 bowls of porridge, and she's like, I'm having that. She's a terrible person. She's not the heroine of the story. The bears are much more honourable than she is. She gets a spoon, goes to the first bowl, takes a big spoonful, puts it in her mouth and goes, it's too hot. Burns her tongue, and she deserves it. So she goes to the next bowl. It's too cold. And unlike the logical person who would mix 2, she goes to another bowl, and she goes, this is just right. And like the horrific human being she is, she finishes the whole thing, disregarding the fact that she's broken into a house, and that bowl of porridge belongs to someone. So, she's pretty full after this porridge and goes, I want to have a sit down, I want to have a nice kip. So she goes to the first chair, a nice big chair, and goes, this is too hard, I don't like this. And it's like, yeah, okay. Goes to the second chair, and no, this is too soft. Yeah, she's pretty damn picky for someone who breaks into a house. So she goes into the third chair, and it's nice. She's rocking back and forth on it when it breaks. Yeah, she may as well have just played the Wii without strapping on the remote, just straight through their TV. She is a terrible person, but she's like, yeah, why not? I'll go to bed. I'll go up the stairs and I'll get into bed. Because that's the kind of person I am. I'm just going to break into a house, steal some food, break some chairs, go to sleep in the bed. She's asking to be caught. But she's probably not thinking about that. She's probably thinking about the pink elephant that's chasing her. So she goes to the first bed, upstairs, and it's too high. Much like herself, and don't know why she'd care. It's a bed, you sleep horizontal on it. She goes to the next bed, which I'm assuming is an air bed if it's that low. It's too low for her. So she goes to the third bed, this poor victimised baby bear, and she falls asleep in it, nice quilt. She goes to sleep. Well, the bears do come home. You're probably thinking that in this story the bears are going to be a drugs gang or maybe even a bunch of hairy gay guys, but no, I prefer if they were just bears, and she would really learn her lesson. And you're probably asking, how does a bear get a place with double glazing in the middle of a, well, maybe a countable state, I guess. I'm not saying they're all bad, but this one is housing a fugitive. But no, these are just bears, and let me just tell you, if you're an estate agent and a bear comes looking for some place to live, you don't argue with a bear. You just don't. So Daddy Bear comes in, this big fellow, says, "Oh, roar, roar, roar." No, that's what dogs sound like. But he doesn't speak English. He's a bear. But if he did speak English, he'd probably be like, "Hey, what's happening to my porridge?" There's a big spoon out of it. And Mummy Bear's like, "Someone's had some of my porridge." And then Baby Bear's like, "Someone's eaten all my porridge. It sucks." So they're like, "There's someone in our house. Honey, get the gun." But no, they're bears. They don't need guns. So, on to the next crime scene. Who's been sitting in my chair? Who's been sitting in my chair? My God, my chair's broken. It's a good thing she didn't play the Wii and threw it through the TV. So, instead of calling the police like a sane bear would do, even though, you know, the police can't understand them and they're bears, so the police probably won't even enter. They'll probably just use animal control unit. They go upstairs and then it's like, my God, someone's been sleeping in my bed. And Mummy Bear goes, "Someone's been sleeping in my bed." You know, unfortunately, I don't think things are going so well with Mummy and Daddy Bear. I mean, he's on a nice big high bed, she's on an air bed, maybe having a bit of an argument recently, and not surprising if they live in a place as rough as this. But then Baby Bear goes, "Oh my God, there's someone in my bed. They're still sleeping there." So they go around her, and Goldilocks wakes up gently and goes, "Oh crap, I'm surrounded by bears." Now in the original story, I think she jumps out a second story window, and I don't know about you, but I think I'd break something. So she goes for it, but there's some justice to be served. Daddy Bear claws her. She gets a big scar on her face, flesh wounds, and Baby Bear and Mummy Bear just tear her apart. But yeah, I mean, that's how I'd have it end, because she deserves that. She's not a nice person. But we'll make it a little bit of a happier ending. She didn't jump out. She did get attacked by bears, but now she works as a motivational speaker. She's lost one of her arms down to about a hip from there, and the use of one of her legs after falling, trying to clamber out of that window. She's got a big scar there from when Daddy Bear hit her across the face. But she goes around schools and other places just telling people that you shouldn't abuse drugs, shouldn't break in, certainly shouldn't steal food, shouldn't dismember property. She's basically a community service worker now. But all's not lost. She went on to get a master's in veterinary medicine and went on to get a PhD in animal psychology, specifically bears. So one day she can apologise to the bears, and if they're willing to accept it, who are we to judge? Well, I hope you enjoyed my horrific take on Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Next time I'll be telling a great anecdote of when a farmer shot at me and my friends. Thanks for listening. Have a great week. Good night. Stop.